What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zell. Welcome to the Sunday morning rehab experience. I am so honored to be here with you today and so grateful that you've tuned in with us. It's going so incredibly fast. I'm with you, so excited that you've tuned in to on this awesome Sunday morning. Listen, this year is really flying by so fast. It is really flying by so fast. And I tell you, I don't know what I'm going to do if it does not slow up. We are absolutely halfway through the year. We are already halfway through the year. And I'm just telling you, I just cannot believe how fast, if I'm being honest with you, I really cannot believe how fast this year is really flying by. And so just grateful, again, just grateful to be on with you this morning. So thankful that you've chosen to share with us on this great Sunday morning. And just thankful for your presence today. Listen, I got an incredible message for you. I've got an incredible word for you that I cannot wait to share with you. And I'm so glad you tuned in. Do it with all you have is the message that we're sharing. And listen, I got to challenge somebody on this awesome Sunday morning to stop half-stepping. We got to stop half-stepping. It doesn't matter what it is that you have been called or designed to do for your life. You've got to stop doing it in a partial way. And you've got to stop half-stepping and give it everything you have. But we'll talk about that in a second. Do me a favor, like the video, share the video. Tag somebody, tell them that we're live and on the air this morning. We're exclusively on Facebook and YouTube. Just as a promise, I think I've got a solution for Instagram. So the next broadcast, I might be able to shoot this on Instagram, our Instagram page. I really miss our Instagram followers, but just so thankful for those of you that continue to support, and so grateful that you have tuned in to share with us. So again, like the video, share the video. Let's get the declaration up on the screen. Let's get ready to walk through it together. This is your first time tuning in. Many people ask, what does REHAB stand for? Well, it's an acronym for Restore, Evangelize, Hope, Alternative, Breakthrough. It is the 5 pillars by which we attempt to operate ministry, even in this virtual space, and really empower people in their spiritual lives. And so we're going to walk through this declaration. You should see it on the screen. I don't care what you're doing. You might be laying in the bed right now, but I want you to repeat this declaration with me because I believe that the power of life and death absolutely is connected to the words you speak. And we do this every Sunday or the Sunday that we're on broadcast so that you can start your week off in a tremendous way. All right. So say this with me. Restore. We declare that everything that is broken, lost, hurt, or destroyed that belongs to us and has been designed by God is restored. My faith is restored. My joy is restored. My mind is restored. Even my lost time is restored. I am no longer broken. The fact that I'm alive means I have another chance. My faith has restored me. And right now, his love is making me whole. Evangelize. Say this with me. We declare that God helped us so we can help somebody else. He loved me when I was unlovable. He changed me when I was a mess. His love lifted me when I was down. I'm not perfect, but I am free. And anything that came for me can't keep me. Because I'm free, my circle is next. My family is saved. My friends are blessed. My goals are ahead of schedule. And anything connected to me is blessed, just like me. Hope. Say this with me. We declare that everything that is missing is not lost. In Jesus, I have hope. And this hope makes me confident. It doesn't matter what happens to me or around me. I'm going to win. My relationships are winning. My goals are winning. My family is winning. My neighbor is winning. The city will win. And my virtual row has the victory. My past is defeated. And my future is brighter today than it was yesterday. Alternatives. Say this with me. We declare that God made us different. I'm a royal child, the light of the world, and the hope of my city. I respect the past, but I don't look like what I've been through. I love the church, and my life is balanced. I love coming to church, but I like flights, boats, and vacations. My whole life is blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender, not a borrower. And every place I go belongs to me. Breakthrough. Say this with me. We declare that God has a breakthrough with our name on it. I have some challenges, but I am not defeated. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I know that all things are working for my good. Things are not breaking down, they are about to break through. There is a breakthrough in my career. There is a breakthrough in my home. There is a breakthrough in my health. There is a breakthrough in my finances. I am here on purpose, for a purpose, and everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. My friends, you make this declaration. If you did, do me a favor. I want you to type in the comments quickly our declaration for 2024. We're in the month of June. Time is rolling. Type it in the comments quickly. I'm going after more. Hurry. I'm going after more. Come on, type it. I'm going after more. I want to see it on the screen. I'm going after more. I need you this year not to get content with any area of your life. We're actually going to deal with this a little bit today because it is so important that in everything that you go after and that you do, you ought to do it with everything you have. And that if we do it with everything we have, we're going to end up with more than what we had. If you do it with everything you have, you're going to have more than what you had. I'm going after more. Come on, y'all. You're at the 6-month mark. There are 6 more months left in this year. Well, 7 technically. January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, 7 technically, including the month of June. But you are right at that midpoint, and I need you to go after more for the rest of this year. And I promise you, God's going to make some amazing things happen in your life. Listen, let's get right into this. I'm in Colossians chapter number 3, verse 23 through 24, the New Living Translation. Doc, why are you going so fast? I got to get out of here. I'm going to make this quick today. Very quick broadcast, 30 minutes. I've been trying to do this to be mindful of those of you that still want to get out and get in fellowship at a ministry, or maybe you're going to spend your Sunday with your family. And so I want to try to be very mindful of that. But I want to get right into this message today, not wasting any time. I hope you all will come see me again. I will be with my father again in 2 weeks at the United Holiness Worship Center. I think that date is the 23rd is what that feels like. I don't have, let me get a calendar in front of me. I think it's the 23rd. So those of you that are in Virginia, North Carolina, certainly, I encourage you to come out. Yes, the 23rd, I will be with my father, and I certainly encourage you to come out and share with us, and looking forward to sharing with them again. All right, Colossians chapter number 3, verse 23 through 24. I have the New Living Translation. I want you to get a version that works for you. Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 through 24. Verse 23 says, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for man. Look at verse 24. Knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward, you are serving the Lord Christ. Today we are talking about the subject, do it with all you have. Come on, write it down. I want you to write it down, type it in the notes. You're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler all week. Why, Doc, are you talking about this? Because I want to deal quickly with the downside of half effort. The downside of half effort. That anytime you in your life are giving halfway effort in anything, it is incredible for us to expect big results. And a lot of people are absolutely living lives where they are doing things halfway. They're not giving full effort, full energy towards their career, but they're expecting promotions. They're not giving full effort and energy towards their business, but they're expecting new sales and new clients, right? They're doing halfway efforts when it comes to their family and their children, and they're expecting better relationships. It doesn't work that way. Whatever you give a halfway effort in, you're going to get halfway or partial results. And so in order to get out of this tailspin of partial results, we have to correct our effort. It is critical in this season that whatever you put your hands to, you give it your absolute best. Listen, I want you to record this. Whatever you decide to pursue, give it your best. This is important. Whatever you decide to pursue, give it your absolute best. Record it. Come on, I want to see it in the comments. Whatever you decide to pursue, give it your absolute best. Everything you do, you should be giving it your best. And when you give things your best, it doesn't mean, I want to debunk this really quickly. Just because you give something your best doesn't mean it's going to automatically yield automatic results. Like it doesn't mean that. Sometimes you plant your best as a seed that then materializes days, weeks, months, even years later. But whether the seed is going to materialize today or 10 years from now, the bigger point is that with everything you do, you've got to do what? Give it your best. And I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired of seeing people expect big results from half effort. You cannot halfway anything and expect big results. And I think it is irresponsible. I think it is, quite frankly, delusional for you to give anything in your life halfway effort and expect it to materialize into something great. It's just not going to happen. You see, I see this so much in my work, especially. You know, people from around the world reach out to me. Doc, I want you to help me solve this problem. I want you to help me work through this. I want you to help me fix this. I've got this addiction. I've got this problem in my marriage. I've got this problem in all of these different areas of my life. But it's crazy that when you talk to people sometimes and you really just sit down and ask them questions about what they're doing, you discover that people have a lot of big ideas about what they want. But when it comes down to the effort that they're putting in, the effort doesn't match the level of their ideas. And this even flies counterintuitive about faith. To faith, watch this. It is not faith to walk in no effort. I'm going to explain that statement. You are not using faith when you don't apply effort. Record it. You are not using faith when you don't apply effort. There's a lot of people walking around not giving effort and they're calling it faith. Yeah, I don't have to do anything. I mean, you know, all I got to do is believe and it's going to happen. I don't have to put my effort in it. God's got it. Well, the problem is faith without what? Works is dead. And here's the thing. The greater the thing you believe in, the greater your faith. The greater your faith, the greater your what? Works. The greater the thing you're believing for, the greater the faith it's going to require. This is a side of faith that I saw this week that really just popped out to me, and it never really popped out this way. The greater the thing that you're believing for, the greater the faith it's going to take to achieve it. But watch. If it's going to require a great faith to achieve it, it's going to require a great level of action on your behalf. Faith without works. The greater the faith, the greater the works. And we operate in opposites. It's so crazy that people in general tend to operate in opposites. They say, oh, I'm believing God for this big thing. And hey, I'm believing God for millions and I don't have $2. So because I'm believing him for millions and it's so big, it's out of my hands. I can't do nothing with it. No, you can apply big faith to it. But if you're going to apply big faith, you got to apply big works. Because faith without works is dead. The bigger the faith, the bigger the works. And this is why you got to be careful of what you're believing in. You have to be careful of what you're believing for. Because for every level of anything that you believe for is going to require a greater level of faith. Is this making sense, y'all? It's making sense, right? So it's not faith when you're not applying effort. It's not faith when you're not applying effort. And we got to get out of this. And so Paul tells them quickly in verse 23, listen, whatever you do, work heartily. What does that mean? With all effort, with zeal, with enthusiasm, with strength. Give it everything you got. Why? Look at the second part of it. As for the Lord and not for men. Why is this relevant? Well, because, record this, put it in the comments. Again, you're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler. Record it. Everything we do should be connected to a purpose larger than us. Record it. Everything you do, especially as it relates to your career, your family, your relationships, anything connected, Everything you do should be connected to a purpose that is bigger than you. So Paul says, listen, I want you to work hard. And whatever you do, I want you to work heartily. But watch, as for the Lord and not man, which means your work should be connected to a power that's greater than the work itself. Let me give you an easy, practical example to make this make sense. Maybe this message this morning is designed to wake somebody up and to challenge somebody to do something different about their lives. Let me tell you something. If you only work to pay bills, you're going to be miserable with work. Let me go and put my analogy hat on. If you only work in this life to pay bills, you're going to be miserable with work. I know what it's like to work jobs I could not stand. Or to work jobs, Lord knows, that really worked every fiber in my being. But I had to work that job. Why? Because I had to pay bills. Bills had to get paid. Things had to get taken care of. But watch this. Something happened. When I discovered purpose behind my work, and I found work that aligned with my purpose. Let me say it again. When I discovered purpose behind my work, and I found work that aligned with my purpose, I don't remember the last day I worked. Coming up on 1 year in August where I'll be full-time as a full-time entrepreneur, 1 year. And I'm telling you, there have been some days that have been tough, but for the most part, it has been a journey that has been incredible, where literally I get up every day and I'm like, wow, I get to do this. I don't have to do it. I get to do this. I get to literally do what I'm called and passionate about doing. And yes, tiresome. And most days I feel like I need a vacation. Most days I'm reciting what we say every Sunday, flights, boats, and vacations in my head every day. Yeah, I get it, but does it feel stressful like work? No. Because my larger purpose behind my work is to heal the world. And so work doesn't even feel miserable when your work, like Paul said, is connected to something greater than you. Paul says, hey, connected to the Lord and not man. In other words, do what you do with all your might, and understand that the work that you're doing is about the God you serve and not the people that's watching. But if we break that down in very digestible terms, he's saying, do it for a purpose larger than you and larger than people. Because then when your work is connected to something larger than you don't have to find motivation to do it. Let me say it slow. You don't have to find the motivation to get up and go to work when your work is connected to your purpose. And this is why many of you are feeling this sensation inside of you to pursue opportunities, to pursue entrepreneurship. You're stepping out of the box. You're trying new things because you finally reached a place where if I only have to work to pay bills, that's a miserable life. But if I get to work to fulfill a purpose that's larger than what I'm doing, then work will never feel like work and I'll be motivated to do it. Which means when you find that, you got to do it with everything you got. I want you to put this in the comments. It's one of my favorite songs back in the day. Old school rap song. Put this in all caps. Ain't no half stepping. Some of y'all don't know nothing about that. Ain't no half stepping. When you figure out what your purpose is, you figure out what you've been called to do, you got to stay up day and night and focus and work on that purpose. Doc, how many hours you work a week? About 100. I'm just being honest. It's a lot of work. I work a lot of hours. I work almost 100 hours a week. It's work, yeah, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like purpose. Sometimes I find myself dreaming about my work. I know that's probably a little over the top for some of y'all, but it's the truth. Because when you find your purpose, stuff all of a sudden don't feel as much like work as it used to. But it ain't no half stepping. When you've been called to do something, when you've been called to be something, when you've been called to become something, when you've been called to do something, you can't half step and do it. You have to do it with everything you have. Let me finish and wrap this up. Look at verse 24. I'm in Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 through 24. The New Living Translation is what I have. Paul says in 23, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. Verse 24, watch what he says, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ. So he said, listen, if you do everything that you do heartily, with all the effort you can, with all the energy and positivity that you can, giving it everything that you have, for the Lord and not for men, for a higher purpose, and not just to pay bills, or not just to be loved, or whatever your thing is that you're doing, then you will do this knowing that the reward comes from God. The reward I can't say it. The reward that you will receive from the Lord is the inheritance that he's promised you. Faith without works is dead. When we work towards the things we believe in, he rewards us with those things we believe in. And that's connected to a greater inheritance that is connected to who he is. His word can't lie. So we can't half step in the work we do and expect great rewards. There are a lot of people. We're in this culture today where people like to cut corners. People think there's a fast way to success, so they want to walk across the yard instead of walking on the sidewalk. But you've got to understand that there is no shortcut to receiving the rewards designed for your life if you're not willing to do it with everything you have. I want you to put this in all caps in the comment section. There are no shortcuts to walking in our purpose. Record it. You're going to walk in a purpose, you got to recognize there are no shortcuts to walking in your purpose. There are no shortcuts to walking in purpose. There are no shortcuts to walking in purpose. You're going to execute the purpose that God has for you. You're going to execute the plan God has for you. You got to do it with everything you got. Listen, and not only you have to do it with everything you got, let me challenge some of you right now. Some of you need to start holding people connected to you more accountable. Let's talk about that real quick, and then I'm done. Because some of you are connected to people who have great purpose on their life and great promise on their life. They have a great call on their life. They have great ideas and plans, but you're letting them half step. They're cutting corners. Well, doc, they ain't got nothing to do with me. That's their purpose. That ain't mine. Well, what kind of friend are you? What kind of family member are you? What kind of husband, wife are you to want to watch people connected to you that you care about cut corners to try to get to success? You've got to be willing and able to tell people the truth about the corners that they cut and how that's impacting their ability to become everything that they've been called and designed to be. There are absolutely no shortcuts when it comes to your success, especially in this season that we are in. You're going to win in this season. You have to absolutely do it with everything you have. Y'all, did this make sense today? I told y'all, I've been doing good on time. I'm really impressed myself. Though some of these messages are hard. A lot of these messages I could teach easily for an hour or two. I've been trying to do better. Does this make sense? Come on, fill it up with hearts if it did. This made sense. I want you to fill it up with as many hearts as you can, because I hope I challenge somebody today. So many of you, I've been watching and seeing your stories on social media. You're winning and coming up with new product lines and starting businesses and finding meaningful work, and your family's doing well. All these things are wonderful things are happening to you. And I'm excited to see that. Now I want to challenge you to keep giving this all you've got. Don't just get partial blessings and then start to ease up on the gas. No, you've got to give it everything you have. You're going to maximize the potential, which is the seed that God's placed inside of you. You're going to maximize that potential that God's given you. Listen, I want to pray with you today. You got a prayer request? I want you to type it in the comments really quickly. I want to pray with you today. I want you to know that I'm up. I'm getting up. I'm praying over your prayer request. And I still believe in the power of prayer. And I know that God's still answering prayers because he's still continuing to answer prayers in my life. And I'm believing him for even greater answer prayers for you. Type your prayer request in the comments. Once you do that, I want you to connect your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith. Whether you're watching live or watching the replay, I want you to connect your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith. I want you to touch and agree with me. And let's pray together. Let's do it. Father, in Jesus' name, thank you today for your word. Thank you for this time of gathering and sharing you've given us. It's my prayer that someone has heard this word and been inspired to give it everything that they have. They've made the determination that they're not going to show up in any place or space, as a half version of them, but they're going to show up as the complete whole version of them, whole in effort, whole in energy, whole in perspective, whole in drive. God, there's somebody today that's listening to this broadcast live or the replay that is absolutely frustrated with where they are in their career, in their finances, in their family, in any meaningful area of their life. God, it's my prayer that this message has inspired and instigated someone to take a step back and look at their effort and to make sure that their effort is matching their vision, that their effort is matching their business plan, that their effort is matching their purpose, that their effort is matching everything that they desire for their lives. God, give them the drive to do it with everything that they have. It's my prayer, God, that this message has encouraged someone, inspired someone to be the best version of them, that has inspired someone to step out of their comfort zone and pursue everything that they have desired for their lives, that they know God has promised them. God, for every prayer request that's been typed in the chat area, for every prayer request that's on the hearts and minds of people that don't have the courage right now to type it in the chat, God, we lift these prayer requests up to you now, and we ask now that you would answer the requests of your people as only you can. We want you to make ways, to open doors, to meet needs, to grant heart's desires in a special way. God, we lift these requests up to you because we know that this week you're going to open up the windows of heaven. You're going to pour out blessings to us that we won't have room to receive. You're going to bless us in the city. You're going to bless us in the field. You're going to bless us with every place, or in every place that we put our foot. And so, God, give us the strength to trust you as we turn our request over to you. Give us the strength to trust that you're going to work it out for us. God, we count these things done and we believe you for them. In Jesus' name, amen. Come on, type in the comments quickly if you prayed that prayer of faith. It is so. Hurry, y'all. It is so. It is so. God's answering prayers. He's making ways. He's opening doors. He's meeting needs. And I'm so tickled about it. I'm so excited about it. And I hope you are as well. It is so. It is so. It is so. Thank you so very much. Wow. Thank y'all. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad you prayed that prayer of faith. Listen, you want to be saved today? I dare not get off this broadcast without asking you if you want to be saved. Romans 10:9 tells us, and I paraphrase it, if we confess with our mouths and believe with our hearts that Jesus Christ is who he is and did what he did for us, we are saved. Salvation is not about being perfect, but salvation is about recognizing that you serve a God that is bigger than your challenges, that is bigger than your problems, that is bigger than your failures, that is bigger than your issues. And so I want to challenge you today. If you want to be saved, to stop what you're doing. If you're laying down, I want you to sit up. If you're asleep, I want you to wake up. If you're driving, I want you to pull over, because God absolutely wants to answer your prayers today. And all I want you to do is connect your faith with mine and repeat this prayer of faith. Say this with me. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I've made some mistakes. I have some flaws. And I even have some failures. But I do believe that Jesus Christ was born of the Virgin, lived on this earth just like I'm living. He suffered, bled, and died on the cross. But 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Because he lives, I can live, and I am saved. My friends, if you prayed that prayer of faith, I want to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. You've made an incredible decision in giving your life back to Christ now, or life to Christ. Now, find you a church home somewhere where you can continue to grow in your faith, where you can continue to grow around other believers and other people that are striving to be the best version of themselves, where the word is being taught and preached in a way that you can understand it, in a community of people that love you and that love God. Find that ministry, find that church somewhere, and continue to grow and dedicate your faith back to Christ. Maybe you don't have a church home and you just enjoy this format and you want to continue to tune in. Listen, I want you to continue to tune in every 2 weeks, 9:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be here teaching and giving you spiritual principles to help to guide your spiritual walk with Christ. And I'm excited that you will continue to support us in this way. But listen, congratulations on your decision today to give your life back to Christ. And I want you to continue to walk in your faith. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. I'm praying for y'all. I'm rooting for y'all. I want you to have a fantastic week. I want you to know that everything is working out in your life the way it is supposed to. And I want you to be encouraged and trust God for the parts of your life that you don't understand. He's working it out for your good, All you got to do is take your purpose and do it with all you have. Listen, like this video, share this video. I love you. I'm praying for you, rooting for you. I'll see you in 2 weeks. And also, I'll be with my father at the United Holiness Worship Center again, June the 23rd. And I would love to see you there if you're in North Carolina or Virginia, and come out and share with us on that Sunday. Love you. Praying for you, rooting for you. Peace and blessings. Have a tremendous week. Take care now. We'll see you soon.